Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 251 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with Gamersups, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to check out the link in the description where you can go to their store page, and you can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your purchases. I also want to say, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any brand new mods each and every single week. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods. And starting us off, we have a simple quiver mod called Elsopa's Quivers Redone. This is a very simple mod, and the mod page reads that this is a Quivers Redone mod with new meshes and new textures, and it's also very performance friendly as well. And this features all of the quivers that you can use whenever you're going out and hunting or just, clearing out bandit camps with your bow and arrow. All of the new quivers for all of the arrows, whether they be Daedric, Dwarven, Glass, Ebony, you name it, all will have brand new remastered textures for them. And I do believe that this also works with the belt fastened quivers mod, but I wanted you guys to be able to see them very, very clearly, so I took that mod off for this video, just so I could show what they look like in their original form. Now, I'm a big fan of what these new textures look like for the quivers, because in the vanilla game, they all felt kinda samey. Between iron, steel, and all the other arrows, yeah, they had some differences here and there, but nothing like this. This mod goes above and beyond whenever it comes to showing you what kind of quiver and what kind of arrows you're using, and it really goes above and beyond with all of the textures that we have for all the other things that are included in our other load orders here. So I think it fits along any type of load order that you would have perfectly, and some of my favorite quivers that we have here, I love the dragon bone one, how it's a big tooth. I think that's a great idea there, and I really like the glass one as well, but all of these are really well made, and I think they'll suit any type of playthrough because we'll all eventually become sneak archers anyway. But all jokes aside, I really like these textures that they bring into Skyrim for the quivers on your character, and that's definitely why this mod's featured here at a number 5 spot. So I'd strongly recommend downloading Elsopa's Quivers Redone and giving it a try whenever you go out hunting in Skyrim next. Coming in at the number 4 spot this week, we have a brand new beautiful player home called the Mystery of Pine Lake. And the mod page reads that this is a player home near Whiterun with everything that you'll need. The estate contains things like a blacksmith forge, workbenches, smelters, a grain mill, a garden with fertile soils for planting, an oven, as well as some training dummies which you can improve your skills on, and much, much more. This house is also fully Hearthfire compatible, which means your whole family can move in, and the house is located west from Whiterun and can be obtained for 2,500 gold from Aventus Avenici, who's the Earl's Steward in Whiterun. Just read the note at the door to start the short quest to obtain the player home. Various changes can also be made to the house, such as different carpets in front of the bar or a different tablecloth in the dining area, and in addition you can turn on and off some lights to create different moods inside the house. But it isn't just a player home mod, it also contains some quests as well, some of the quests being the Mystery of Pine Lake, the Arena, the Legacy of the Ancient Elves, and the Ring of Pure Mixtures. There's also new NPCs and creatures, such as merchants and powerful followers that have been added as well as new equipment and weapons. This equipment includes new weapons and spells, which are optimal for endgame or higher difficulties, so beginners will profit massively from this new gear, which can be found in the treasure chest during the quest that you're going to be completing. Finally, we have new books and potions, which the skill books that have been added to this mod are very, very cool. There's 18 in total, and they'll teach you the corresponding skill indefinitely. So make sure to buy them all to really boost your skills if you can actually afford them. They're very, very expensive, so you'll have to do some grinding to get the money in order to get these skill books, so it's not entirely broken, but it's something that you'll be able to buy that's more of an indefinite skill book that you can keep reading and studying to better your skills even further later down the line. So there's so much content hidden under the surface whenever it comes to this small player home mod, and I really like everything that this mod adds here. There's so much to do, so much new equipment to use, and just things to explore, that why wouldn't you want to try out a mod like this? You get a nice new player home for 2,500 gold that's going to have everything that you need, and you get to do 4 new quests alongside it, and get some powerful gear along the way too. And that's definitely why this mod's featured here at a number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Mystery of Pine Lake. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have a mod that may answer that question of what grass mod do I use for my load order? Because, you know, there's other grass mods out there that are very high in memory space or may alter the game performance in such a way, or maybe ones that are small in memory space but don't make the grasses look as good. This is one of the hardest questions to answer whenever it comes to building a load order, but here we may have our answer. This is the Vanilla Grasses Reimagined mod, which is one that meets us right in the middle at about 18 megabytes here, and this is a lush dense grass mod using retextured vanilla models in new arrangements. And it also removes underwater grass by using empty meshes and textures for the best performance possible. They also have 2 different versions of this. There's this one, of course, but then you also have the brown tundra version, as well as the yellow tundra version that you can also download. Now, the grass mod that I've been running since my last load order video has been the Kind's Grass Performance version, which is about 90 megabytes in space, so it's on the rather large side, but it is the performance version, so it does make the game still run very, very smoothly. But if you are maybe running low on memory space, and maybe you want a different type of grass other than the Kind's Grass mod, the Vanilla Grasses Reimagined is here for us. With it being 18 megabytes, it's very smaller in size compared to all the other grass mods out there that you can find, and the mod page doesn't lie because this is a very lush and dense grass mod. I mean, just look at this little showcase I have going on here. As I'm walking around, whether it be on the streets or the forests, you can totally see the grass is very tall sticking up out of the ground, and it looks awesome. I think the textures are really well made, and my game ran absolutely perfectly while having this grass mod installed, which is very hard to say because there's a lot of grass mods out there that go above and beyond and make the game look crazy good, but then it alters the performance, which then alters how you look at the mod and makes you think it's a bad mod and stuff like that. So we don't want to have any performance issues whenever we're running a grass mod here. We want the best grasses, the best looking grasses possible, as well as the best performing game possible too, and that's exactly what this mod does here. And although I'm still having fun with the Kind's Grass Performance version mod that is very high in memory space, but this really impresses me with it coming in at 18 megabytes and making the grasses look absolutely amazing, makes the game run really smoothly as well. You know, there's no complaints that I have with this mod here, so if you are looking for a new grass mod that's very low in memory space, then the Vanilla Grasses Reimagined is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, and that's definitely why it's featured here at our number 3 spot, so I strongly recommend downloading it and exploring these new forests in areas that are beautiful for yourself. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have a very fun mod that combines a bunch of different Dwemer technology mods all into one simple mod here. This is Mahty's Dwarven gear all in one, and this is a collection of Dwemer weapons and gear made by Mahty, of course, and these mostly use vanilla texture paths and thus will use whatever retextures you have. So if you have a bunch of different retextures, whether they be armor or weapon retextures, this mod will actually use those textures from your other texture mods and put them into the weapons and gear that are featured in this mod. So I think that's very, very awesome already off the bat here. But the actual types of Dwarven gear that we have included in this mod, we have the Dwarven rifle crossbow, the Dwarven arm gun. Yeah, we're going to be breaking the lore here. We're going to be going crazy. We're going to make it feel like you have power armor in Skyrim. And we also have the Dwarven ethereal bow, the Dwarven knuckles, animated Dwarven backpacks, the animated Dwarven headgear, the Dwarven beam blades, the field generators. You know, there's tons of different things to get lost in whenever it comes to building your own power armor suit, because the Dwemer technology was so advanced, but definitely not this advanced. This is just something to add into your game to completely wreak havoc on Skyrim, and just, I really think it was very fun to use during my testing here. You know, there's tons of different badass things you can combine. I really like the headgear that you can put on. It makes your character look absolutely badass. And of course, having the Dwarven arm gun is also something very, very fun to use. As you can see, I went through and completely wiped out all the bandits in this camp here. But there's tons of new toys to play around with here, and they all fit the same theme of having, you know, the Dwarven textures and, you know, the Dwarven technology. I know this isn't lore friendly at all because it wasn't this advanced, of course. But, you know, the other things, such as the Dwarven knuckles, were really fun to use in combat. It's like the power fist from Fallout, if you remember those. You would just bash people into the ground and, you know, make them splatter everywhere. Of course, we don't have the Bloody Mess perk in Skyrim here, but there's something extremely close to that here, because you could just pummel people into the ground with the Dwarven knuckles. You also have the very fun animated Dwarven backpacks, which you can have a helicopter blade attached to you, or wings. Dwarven wings can be on your back as well. The opportunities for badassery in this mod are completely endless, and I really like the way that these look, so if you want to build your own power armor suit in Skyrim, this is definitely the mod worth checking out here. But not only that, you have a bunch of Dwarven beam blades that you can use. There's tons of new weapons at your disposal that I never really thought of before. You have lightsaber looking things that you can swing around and completely destroy people with, giant axes that look really cool and have, you know, the light beams on them as well. There's so much fun to be had here, and I know I may be repeating myself, but this mod was just extremely fun to test out and try. You know, it goes way above and beyond, and it doesn't try to be serious at all, and I really like that, and that's definitely why this mod's featured here at our number 2 spot. So if you're looking to just completely wipe out anyone in your path in Skyrim with some new Skyrim power armor, Dwarven style, then Mahty's Dwarven gear all-in-one is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out. Coming in at the number 1 spot this week, we have a very impressive mod that aims to make every single interior that you go into in Skyrim feel completely unique and remastered. This is the Distinct Interiors All-in-One mod. And the mod page reads that this is their own flavor of diversifying some of Skyrim's interiors, and they've been working on this mod on and off for months in their free time each week. They decided to go ahead and publish what they have so far, but this is also still a work in progress mod, so this will be receiving constant updates as time permits as well. And their goal is to make these edited interiors feel distinct and purposeful, but to avoid massive overhauls. The changes that they make are often small and limited to decoration, and the layout of each interior remains relatively the same, so it should still feel very much like Skyrim, just with the added perk of being able to visually assess what sort of place you're in. The Temple of Mara is lavish and warm, general goods stores actually have general goods, and inns are unique to their region and name. And I wasn't kidding whenever I said almost every single interior, because we have in Riften, there's Helga's Bunkhouse, the Temple of Mara, the Bee and Barb, the Pond Prawn, the Ragged Flagon, the Thieves Guild HQ, as well as Honeyside, and then in Whiterun you have Bellathor's General Goods, the Bannered Mare, Arcadia's Cauldron, Breezehome, and the Drunken Huntsman. Solitude, you have Bits and Pieces, the Radiant Raiment, the Winking Skeever, and Proudspire Manor, Windhelm, Sadri's Used Wares, Candlehearth Hall, and the New Genesis Corner Club. In Falkreath, you have the Hall of the Dead that's been remastered, Grey Pine Goods, Dead Man's Drink. In Markarth, you have the Shrine of Talos, the Temple of Dibella, the Silverblood Inn. And then in Winterhold, the Frozen Hearth. In Dawnstar, the Wind Peak Inn, and Morthal, the Moorside Inn, as well as other small miscellaneous areas like Half Moon Mill, the Sleeping Giant Inn, the Riverwood Trader, Four Shields Tavern, and so many different interiors that I really just don't want to list this entire thing that's, you know, in front of me here. There's so many interiors that are changed with this mod, and it all comes in at 266 megabytes, but if you're watching this in the future, it might be a lot more because they plan on updating this further. So this mod is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and better because I absolutely love these interiors here. And this isn't even the best part, because it works with a bunch of different mods that we've already been using, or maybe mods that are very popular. It's compatible with a bunch of them, such as Immersive Citizens, Enhanced Light and Effects, Relighting Skyrim, and even the Opulent Thieves Guild, making it one of the best interior overhaul mods that I've seen in an extremely long time. Because there's a bunch of other mods out there that may make the game crash if you have ELFX installed, or some of the relighting mods. Those are very hard to work out the, you know, bugs and everything like that, whether you're crashing or maybe lights are flickering in places. You know, this mod really doesn't have any of that. You may see a flicker here and there, but it's nothing too noticeable. So this is just a huge upgrade to every interior, making them all feel unique in Skyrim, and with it being compatible with a bunch of mods that we use, or maybe you use, or, you know, very popular mods, they're all compatible with it. So it can pretty much just fit into any load order that you could possibly think of and work perfectly. So if you're looking to completely transform all of the interiors that you go into in Skyrim, then Distinct Interiors All-in-One is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, and that's definitely why it's featured here at a number 1 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it and adding it to your load order as well. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.